All right, so let's talk about gut health after cancer, or even before cancer, or just gut health in general. There's a lot of confusing information out there. There's a lot of eat this, do that, drink this, inject this, put this here, and it's just gets a little crazy. But gut health is pretty simple. There's really three things you need to know. Now, I do want to give a large disclaimer before starting this video, especially after cancer, right? So, depending on where you've had surgery, you're going to have different issues. So, any GI surgeries, any abdominal surgeries are going to affect your stomach very differently. And that's going to affect a lot of the advice I'm going to give today. So, it's very important that if you've had abdominal surgery, and then the intestinal surgeries, it's very important that you talk to a dietitian. One who's going to be able to say, okay, you've had this type of surgery. This is probably going to affect you this type of way, and these are the foods you can and cannot eat, or these are the foods that are going to be better for you to eat, easier for you to digest. So if you've had any issues or any surgeries like that, definitely talk with a registered dietitian, not a nutritionist. Okay. So, that's the first thing. The second thing I want to say is if you have any issues eating, meaning you can't eat because you have mouth sores, you can't eat because you have taste changes, you've lost a ton of weight, and you have low appetite and you have a lot of issues eating, excuse me, just got over a sickness here, then it's very important you also talk to a dietitian. I am not a registered dietitian. I'm going to give you a lot of evidence-based advice, but it's going to be general overview of what to eat to stay healthy and maintain a happy gut for a happy butt. But it's not going to be clinically based. So that's important to know. All right. Talk to a dietitian if you have any issues eating at all. Now let's go ahead and get started into gut health. Okay, so there's three things to know about gut health. The last one, there's one bonus one that I'm going to talk about. That's the most famous one when it comes to gut health, but it's honestly the least important. So as long as you have the three things that I'm going to talk about up front, then the last one is just like a little sprinkle on top. It's the bonus that really helps, but it's not the defining factors. So gut health is actually determined, right, by yes, the bacteria in your stomach. But there's one main thing that really affects your gut health. And obviously, if you eat too much processed food, that's going to affect your gut health. Eating healthy foods is also going to affect your gut health, and that's going to change basically, what the bacteria in the gut are, right? So you want to stay away from processed foods and alcohol. That's the first thing. So processed foods and alcohol. Primarily, you want to stay away from processed meats. Now, processed meats are toxic, literally toxic to your gut. It does cause cancer in the gut. It has been shown. Let me rephrase it a little bit. It has been shown to increase risk of cancer in the gut and in colon cancer, particularly. Okay, so you want to reduce processed meats. Your processed meats are your hams, deli meats, bologna, spam, bacon, all the stuff that tastes really good, that's really quick and easy to grab. Those are the things you want to avoid. Now, if you have a sandwich once in a while with some ham, that's not going to be bad for you. But if you're eating a ham and cheese sandwich every single day, that was not healthy. That's where you want to reduce that instead of make that your basically whole meal plan. Okay. So that's the first thing. Second thing is avoiding alcohol. Alcohol can also affect your gut health, and it has been shown to be associated with a lot of different types of cancer. So it's very important that you're also reducing alcohol, or at best, avoiding alcohol at all costs. There's a lot of different great drinks that you can do, zero alcohol drinks that you can choose as well. But if the less alcohol, the better. Okay. Now that's in terms of avoiding alcohol and what to avoid. Also, your processed foods, ultra processed foods, really, your pizzas, your burgers, right? Those are also going to affect your gut health. You want to limit those. But when it comes to avoiding, those are the big two. It's going to be your processed meats and alcohol. After that, you want to focus on eating fruits and vegetables. fiber in particular is one of the best things that's going to help clean your gut. I know a lot of people say like have this detox, drink this to detox your gut, and it's like that does nothing. All it does is just makes you poop a lot. Like it's not cleaning anything. To clean your gut, you need to change the bacteria, and you need to literally clean it and remove things from the gut. And fiber itself changes the bacteria, but it also helps remove not only things from your bloodstream, so it helps lower cholesterol by literally collecting cholesterol throughout, and then you kind of poop it out basically. But it also helps feed your gut and clean your gut as well. So fiber is extremely important for your gut. Now, also eating fruits and vegetables, which is where you get a lot of your fiber from, are also going to be helpful for changing the gut biome, right? So we got fiber, which can come from fruits and vegetables. It could also come from nuts, seeds, and whole grains as well. So legumes also have a lot of fiber in them. So think chia seeds, almonds. Yes, I say almonds, not. I actually don't even know how to say the other word, but peanuts, cashews, things like that, right? Black beans, lentils, all those are going to help provide you with a good amount of fiber in your meals, and that's going to help with the gut health. It's also going to help with lowering cholesterol and lowering other things that improve your body. So, like cholesterol, blood sugar, and I believe even blood pressure as well. So we have limiting processed foods or ultra processed foods, particularly alcohols and processed meats. And then it's getting more fiber. Fruits, vegetables, legumes are all great ways to get more fiber. And then the last thing, which is extremely important that many people don't even think about, it's actually exercise. So exercise actually does help improve your gut health. It helps if you're feeling constipated. It helps with some nausea as well. And when I say exercise, I'm not saying going running helps with your gut health. What I mean is going for a walk. Walking is a great way to help improve the motility, so basically like movement through your gut. You also want to pair that exercise up with hydration though, because you want to increase that motility, but you also want to make it easy for it to flow, right? This is kind of weird because I'm getting images of how this physiology works in my head, and it's not fun, right? But hydrating while you're exercising is extremely important because it's going to help the flow of things, out of your body. So hydrating and exercising are extremely important for improving your gut health. All right. Now, the last thing that I talked about that I said it's very common and it's I'm gonna use like quotations like the least important. And the reason I say least is because it's not as impactful as social media and news will make you think it is. All right. So it's still important. I'm not saying don't eat it. I'm saying it's not as big of a player as focusing on the big three are. Avoiding certain foods, eating the right foods, and exercising and hydrating daily. That's really your core of improving the gut health. All right. The last one is a bonus that really does help improve it as well. But you want to have that foundation first. And that's going to be eating your prebiotics and probiotics, right? So your kimchi, your Greek yogurts, kefir, I don't know how some people say it, but kefir. I think it's delicious too. So having those in your meals. Now, does that mean that you need to make your whole diet based on pre and probiotics and get all these nice little supplements? No, it doesn't. It's not that big of a deal. If you can include these and you enjoy it, definitely enjoy it into your meals because it's definitely worthwhile. But it doesn't mean you need to make your whole nutrition plan around these certain foods and supplements. Really focus on eating, the whole foods, the kefirs, the Greek yogurts, the kimchi, over getting the supplements. So that's the last one. Like I said, that's the I don't want to say that least important in comparison to the other ones. Okay, and if you focus on those four things, you're really going to be prioritizing your gut health from that aspect of things. And it's not really anything crazy when you think about it. Avoid alcohol and processed food, eat fruits and vegetables, exercise and hydrate. Like it's not really that big of a of um of a difference in terms of what it takes to lose fat or be healthy or prevent cancer. Like it's the same exact formula for any healthy lifestyle. However, if people on social media told you that, hey, it's not as sexy as it sounds, like nobody would really be paying attention to them. So that's how you improve your gut health. The last one that did not mention, and I forgot to mention earlier, uh, if you want to do this, so I didn't include it because it only matters for certain people, is being in a calorie deficit. Now, if you have extra weight to lose, extra fat to lose, being in a calorie deficit has been shown to improve your gut health. So it's not in your top four things because not everyone needs to lose fat. I mean, yes, I know that there's a lot of people who want to lose fat, but if you focus on those four things without losing fat, you're still going to be improving your gut health. So, being in a calorie deficit is another way that you can actually improve your gut health. So, if you're trying to lose fat and you're losing weight, you're actually improving your gut without even realizing it. So, those are the four things, well, I mean, five now, that you can do to improve your gut health after cancer or just to stay healthy. I'm JC, cancer exercise specialist, and take care.